I've just quit my job without a plan. I've been a teacher for 7 years.
I just thought to let you guys know that it is unfortunately my last week with you, and I am leaving Friday.
What the hell? Miss, what the hell?
I just quit my job after 1 week. I started at this new school on Monday.
The worst thing in the world is when you've done a whole day of teaching and then we all pretend that it's normal and sensible to get all of the professionals in a room and do some training after doing 8 hours of work.
Yep.
In the UK, over 114,000 teachers have quit their jobs since the 2021 to 2022 academic year. That's not just a number. That's thousands of people who once loved teaching, who believed they were making a difference, now walking away. So why? Why are so many teachers leaving? From the outside, teaching looks easy enough. People see the long holidays, the short working days, and think, must be nice. But what they don't see are the hours spent marking until midnight, the unpaid overtime, the lessons planned on weekends, the parent evenings that run until 8 p.m. after a full day of teaching. They don't see teachers skipping lunch, dealing with the emotional needs of over 150 students per day, missing bathroom breaks, juggling duty, meetings, and last-minute policy changes, all before they have even finished their coffee. And the crazy part, for most teachers, it's not the students that drive them out. It's everything around the job.
I quit teaching after only 2 years in the profession, and here is why. I became a teacher, was there 2 years, realised enough was enough. Constant feelings of inadequacy, a broken system, being anxious all of the time. The fact it is normalised to work 24/7. Some people may say you need strong boundaries, but when you are asked to do tasks all of the time and expected to do them outside of hours, first thing in the morning, when you get home at night. I was working effectively from about 7 a.m, sometimes till 10 p.m. at night, and that was a very, very normal day for me. SLT support with behaviour was just not there in a lot of cases. The fact the system is so broken that there's not support for children with SEN to get what they need in the classroom, and the fact that you're expected to be thankful that you're a teacher. There seems to be this thing in teaching where there's, I don't know, it's like a badge of honour, like you're so lucky to be a teacher, you make such a difference. I found that the harder you work, the more work was expected of you, and then anybody who said no to things, even if it was something like saying no to an after school club, you would be then kind of vilinised for doing that. I had this constant guilt that I'd done something wrong, and I know that I was a good teacher, like I did the best for the children at all times, but it never ever felt like enough, and I just want to normalise the fact that that is not normal. And I think so many teachers are stuck in that position now, and they think that when they leave teaching it will be like that too in other jobs. It is not.
3 years ago, I walked away from my job as a teacher. I didn't really want to, but I had to. I loved my students, I loved teaching, but I couldn't keep doing it. And no, it wasn't because of the kids. Let me explain. I've worked with children ages 3 to 18. And here's the thing about teaching that no one talks about. It's everything they say it is, but it's also nothing like they say it is. People think that it's a 9 to 3 job with summers off and great pay. But here's the reality. It's constant. You're up before the sun comes up, staying late after school, fixtures, marking, parents' evening, you name it. And then we're bringing home more work. I was honestly losing my personal time, my mental health, and my energy. And to make things worse, there was the emotional toll. Teaching isn't just all about the lessons. You're a counsellor, a supporter, a motivator, a mentor, and sometimes the only person in a child's life that shows up for them. That's a huge weight to carry, but at the same time, this is what drew me to teach and work in the schooling environment in the first place. Not to mention, at the time, I was juggling my running career and my community, which left me constantly burnt out, exhausted, and heartbroken. I not only felt like I was failing my students, but I was also failing the people I worked with in my community because I felt like I was being stretched too thin and I always wanted to be there for everyone. I wanted to help more, but how could I help others if I struggled to help myself? And do you know what the hardest part is? I wasn't even alone. There are so many teachers out there that feel this way too. And yet there's still so many conversations that need to be had that no one wants to have.
I just quit my job after 1 week. I started at this new school on Monday and it has been the worst week of my life. I don't agree with a single thing going on at this school and I have had the worst week. Like, I've left crying and I've cried at school every single day since I started. And it seems maybe a little premature to quit after only 1 week, but you know, when you start something or do something or get somewhere and you just instantly feel a bad, icky feeling, that is the feeling I get here. And I just know that this is not the place I'm meant to be at all. So I'm out. I called my agency and said, I'm not coming back on Monday. Luckily, I am with an agency, so they will get me temporary work from Monday. I don't have to worry about not having a job. I just know that this place is definitely not for me and I cannot come back another week.
See ya. I've just quit my job without a plan. I've been a teacher for 7 years. I've taught music and drama. This year I've taught history, which kind of speaks to the state of education in the UK. You've got to give your notice a term in advance, so about 3 months. So I actually quit in May. It was a really hard decision to make. I didn't want to leave the people, the kids, but I had to get out of education. And today is day 3 of not being a teacher anymore. The thought of going back in September is not something I could cope with. I'm absolutely done with a capital D. And I don't want to be bitter about it because that's not who I am. But education at the moment is in proper crisis, I would say. And I know a lot of people that would agree with me that have left, some really good teachers that I know who've left the profession this year and in previous years. More that want to get out but feel stuck financially, stuck by the golden pension that they've got. I'm going to go to work with my husband, who is a builder. I'm going to go and labour for him for a bit, which would be fun, maybe. And I'm going to figure it out from there. And do you know what? I'm sure I'll be fine. But it's bloody scary. And if you want to follow my ridiculous journey, then please do.
My name's Iram. I am a UK qualified teacher based in the UK who has officially resigned from her middle leader position in a school. There are a number of reasons why I've chosen to leave, and I'm not going to sit here and slate any school in any way, shape or form. The 2 main reasons why I have chosen to leave is, number 1, the school just wasn't offering me flexibility as a mum and a business owner. Despite the fact that I was open and honest about my needs in terms of flexibility, unfortunately, we just couldn't make it work. Number 2, I feel my skill sets, I have a lot more to give down the tutoring route. I know what it takes to get a student from a grade 1 to a grade 9, and I say that with confidence. There's a key to success. I've nailed it. I've been doing it for 8-9 years. I get it. I know what it takes to get those results at GCSE, get those results at A-levels. And I literally thrive of seeing students excel. And in the school, in the middle leader position, I wasn't necessarily involved in the teaching side where I could watch the children excel due to me guiding and supporting them. So I just feel it was the right decision. So for those of you that asked, I don't work in a school anymore. I have worked in schools. I am qualified via a school, but I've made the decision for me, my family, my business. It was best to just leave it where it was. It was good while it lasted, but on to the next chapter.
And where are we?
I just quit my job as a teacher. Did it for 12 years. I cried a lot. Said I wasn't going to. I have no job lined up. So I got a lot to figure out.
I didn't leave teaching because I hate kids. Far from it. I love teaching. The teaching the kids was the best bit. I left teaching because I had my own kids and I actually wanted to spend some time with them. I found I was spending time with other people's kids. I was seeing them out at the end of the school day. I was spending obviously hours and hours with them and not seeing my own kids apart from in the weekends, on the weekends and in the holidays, and you know, I still had loads of teaching stuff to do. So I left teaching so I could be with my own kids. How about you? Teachers who have left the classroom, why did you do it? Was it because you hated the kids? Or did you have another motive? Let me know in the comments.
Many of us are not willing to have that conversation about how toxic the work environment can be for a teacher. I remember seeing this post on LinkedIn where a man who had survived a heart attack was on his hospital bed marking papers. And you had thousands of comments praising him as a dedicated teacher. Make that make sense. So many teachers are pressured to live up to this expectation, oftentimes to the detriment of their health. And when these teachers raise concerns, they are told that they should be so grateful that they're adding value to the lives of young people.
So many toxic traits in the education system. Here are the top 3. By the way, my name is Dale. I'm a teacher. I was a teacher for 12 years, teaching science and PE, and I've experienced all of these. What is the first one? After speaking with roughly around about 250 teachers this year alone, a lot of them are noticing this characteristic in the staff room. The martyr mentality. This martyr mentality, it glorifies burnout. How toxic is that? Person in the staff room that's going above and beyond, sacrificing her own family time, literally her own family time, or his family time, to be with the kids in school, to tick their boxes, making you feel guilty for wanting to go home at 4 o'clock to see your own children, and you can never do as much as me. Look at me, I'm doing amazing, I'm doing everything for these kids. Find that people with this mentality, that's all they've got in their lives, the education system. Next one is toxic compliance. Meaning, teachers are working from a system they already know is broken, but they're just going along writing reports, doing the data entry, doing the unnecessary tasks, which clearly are not going to help a child thrive on this planet, but they're being told just to go along with it. I don't know about any teachers that are watching this right now, but when I was a teacher, I felt like a fraud towards the end of my career because I knew the content that I was teaching the kids wasn't going to serve them for the rest of their lives. And the third and final one is shame-based culture. This toxic trait just here, shame-based culture, means that you can never do enough despite doing all the lesson plans, despite staying up till 9 o'clock at night, working over the weekend marking books. There's always something else a teacher can be doing. And so many teachers based in this toxic work culture are being put down and suppressed because they're still not doing enough. Little piece of advice if you are a teacher, that you're doing everything you can with all the resources you have available to you. You still have a life. There is such thing as a work-life balance. If your consortium education system is not providing that to you, you have every right to leave and get out the door. And frankly, you don't deserve to go through all of these nasty, horrible, toxic traits. Stop working so hard for somebody else's ideologies when they might not even have a family. You've got a family at home, you've got kids at home that need you. And if you've ever had to do a staff meeting after school late and pick up your kids from nursery or the sports club at 5:30, but you'd rather be at home with them, get out the meeting, especially if it's over your work hours. Look at your contract. If it's 34.5 hours a week, stop working overtime. You're not getting paid for that. What are you doing? It's dumb. Don't be a dumb teacher. Have a cool day.
The worst thing in the world is when you've done a whole day of teaching and then we all pretend that it's normal and sensible to get all of the professionals in a room and do some training after doing 8 hours of work.
Yep.
In what business ever?
You forgot the best bit of all that.
Would you do that?
You forgot the best bit of all that, which is there's always still work to do after that.
marking.
Which doesn't get cancelled out.
Right, yeah.
So it's like, we're going to do this meeting. Oh, brilliant. At least I'll tell you what, it makes a break from doing an hour of marking. I'll do an hour of this meeting. No, you got the marking as well. You just got to do that as well at some point. But I don't care when, you just got to do it.
But do you know what I'd say to those people? Because it's what I've done for most of my career. Just don't mark then. Because I just wouldn't. And I'd be like, okay, catch me up in it. And I'll tell you, oh, sorry, I was in that training. That was so important.
You know that training you did for me? It took an hour and 10 minutes.
Exactly.
I was doing that.
Right, exactly. So I think the biggest flaw there is the fact that I'm done in. I've done a day of work. 95% of the time, I'm sure people won't mind me saying, it's complete naff. Because you're not a trained giver of professional development. You're just a teacher who's been given geography and now you need to roll out something to the whole school.
You just got told to do it.
Right. So we need quality CPD and it needs to be given to teachers and professionals in a place where it's instead of work. And it's not tagged on as well as work. Because CPD is work. It's vital and you'll see a push on your profession and you'll be better because of it, but you won't in the current system.
I would be lying to you if I said that students' behavior is not a major problem in many UK classrooms. But please understand that most teachers do not leave because of students. They leave because they're burnt out, because they're overworked, underpaid, micromanaged instead of trusted, because somewhere along the way, education stopped being about young people and became about data. Every year, more experienced teachers walk away. This isn't just a teacher problem, it's an education problem, and it affects everyone. Despite all the challenges, there are still incredible teachers who show up every day, pouring their hearts into lessons, into their students, into their environment, fighting to make a difference. Imagine what education could look like if those teachers were truly supported. And I'm not speaking about having a treat every now and again. I'm speaking truly supporting teachers regarding mental health, regarding well-being. Maybe the question isn't why are teachers leaving, but what will it take to make them stay?
Because who you choose to follow and look up to will define who you become as a person. Resilience and integrity, gentlemen, that's going to be the basis of our talk today. Now, as you will notice, before we even start, it's just the boys in the room today, isn't it? Okay, and in fact, I'm just going to move this out of the way. I want this to be a conversation, not necessarily just a talk. You guys are young, year 7s. Soon enough, you're going to grow up, and before you know it, people are going to be looking up to you. And so today, what I want to highlight for you is that what's inside of each and every one of you is far more important than anything material that you might have. Now, resilience, if you look at these two pictures, can be defined essentially as toughness. Now, how do you train it? Well, this is what I wanted to talk to you guys about. I want to give you guys some genuine tools.
Thank you, everyone, for listening. And please know that everything that was said in this video, whether from me or a teacher, was said out of personal experience. It does not represent the experience of every teacher in the UK or every UK classroom. Please consider following me and let me hear some feedback as well about my content and how I can improve just for you. Until next time, this is Blue Book Reflections.